Kyle here from All Media Reviews. I'll just give a couple of announcements, show things. I'm wearing my new Dredge. I don't know what the but Drew Roulette from Dredge and artwork, hopefully to help fund the next record. And also, I got the new Dredge hat, which is kind of modeled after their hometown San Francisco Giants. It's got all the great, cool Dredge type artwork and everything. I got that in the mail. I do have some vinyl too. I haven't shown one or two records. I didn't. This kind of goes along. I got the Prince hat back in June last month, and then my Kevin Gilbert hat. So I got all these, music related hats. I used to have mostly baseball related hats, but I can also show. I did find my Metropolis CDs. Maybe they're from Germany. I thought they were made in Canada. I thought they were from Holland, but the band from the '95 list that I was missing. Maybe they were from Germany. I was thinking they're from Holland, but anyway, this is that. See, I don't know. And I got their other one, the Shadows from the Past, but I'm glad I found them. It's always a relief to do that. But I remember this picture. Yeah, some of these, the humor behind them. But it always seems to happen. I have a bad pattern of that where I find stuff after the fact. New stuff, some news is coming out, like Opeth's new album probably going to be announced, but even though I'm not really that enthusiastic, a lot of expectations about it. I know people will be. I think there was like one or two other things that's been announced anyway, but I'm here to do the calendar anniversaries for August, since today's the 31st. So, alright, I'll just get into it. I'm working on 1996. I don't know if it's going to be this week. A friend of mine has been asking me to do a jazz fusion list. I might try to do that soon. The Radicant EP also, and he also was asking me to show more of my baseball cards. I sold some baseball cards recently, but the ones that most valuable, most of them, I want to see if I can get an assessment, like an appraisal. A couple of like the Ricky Henderson rookie, Dan Marino rookie, the Walter Payton rookie. I've seen sites that list them for. They're trying to sell them for thousands. Even Ricky Henderson was like over 100,000, but then other sites that sell them for like $150. So all right, on to the August 2024 anniversary milestone anniversaries for albums. So Saturday the 3rd, coming up this Saturday, we have a couple of them. We have 3 actually. One is kind of one of not the biggest sort of like for fans of technical death metal. Bands, Necrophagist. They're a German band who, famously has only put out a couple records, but one of them is the album Epitaph. I don't know if this is their first or second. I'll get into this, but originally came out on August 3rd, 2004. This is the 20th anniversary this Saturday of this album. I can't remember if this is their first or second. I want to say this is their second, but I could be wrong. Because they put out like 2 or 3 records, and then for the last decade and change, everybody pined for another Necrophagist record and it hasn't come out. But I mean, this is some of the most technical music. This, along with Spawn of Possession, I put it as like the sort of the gold standard benchmark if you want to get the most technical without losing you, where it's just unbelievable, jaw-droppingly technical music. But anyway, Necrophagist is Epitaph. Happy 20th anniversary this coming Saturday. So along with that, the Talking Heads, not the Talking Heads, the band Talking Heads. I don't know if it was their second or third record. The one I think that was the one that I was into the most. Because everyone loves Remain in Light, and I feel like this is the one that maybe preceded it. Fear of Music came out on August 3rd, 2000, or 1979, so it's the 45th anniversary of Fear of Music. And I'm pretty sure when I was going through some of those Talking Heads albums back when I was doing the late 70s and 80s, early mid-80s, this is the one I like the most. I could be wrong. It might be the one after it. Maybe the one before it, actually. Songs of people... I don't remember. But it's a good record regardless. So happy 45th anniversary this coming Saturday to Talking Heads Fear of Music. And then also this coming Saturday, I should have actually said this when I did the same day as Necrophagist. This album came out the same day. This is the second album and sort of the most unique album in their catalog from the band. The second album from the band The Velvet Teen. Elysium. There's no guitar on this. It's piano arrangements, great vocal arrangements from Judah Negler. This is prog. This is some fantastic sort of gothic, emotional I mean, it's not like ours exactly. This is some of these songs on this record are very progressive. Kimbra Obscurant is my go-to, but the whole record's great. I got this as a 10-inch, got him to sign it and everything. So happy 20th anniversary to the Velveteens, Elysium. This coming. Some of the other records are good. They're kind of similar to Radiohead at points, but Elysium's very unique. But happy 20th anniversary this coming Saturday, August 3rd, to Elysium from the Velveteen. So then the day after, this coming Sunday, when there's going to be the prog stream, Modern Man, sort of related, the Brian Jacobs of Apes and Androids produced EP from Cale Parks to Swift Mars, and it came out on August 4th, 2009. An EP that I have just become totally attached to and revere and adore. It's like indie-tronica. It's very dreamy at points. I love the synth arrangements in this thing. Cale Parks from the band Aloha. I love this thing. Unfortunately, the rest of Cale Parks' music, and even Aloha, I've never fully gotten into, but this sucker, and I think Brian Jacobs' involvement had a lot to do with it. But happy 15th anniversary this coming Sunday to Swift Mars, the EP from Cale Parks, from I think the drummer and multi-instrumentalist from Aloha. I don't know what he's been doing recently, because the stuff I was checking out, the other stuff was around that same time. But anyway, so the following Saturday, the 10th, I wrote the days of the weeks on this. The following Saturday, August 10th, it would be a week from this Saturday. Happy 45th anniversary. So it came out like whatever, it was like a week after to the day. It was 1 week later from the Talking Heads record Fear of Music. Michael Jackson's breakthrough solo album, Off the Wall, which, it's a great record. It's got a lot of his classics, of course. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rock With You, Get on the Dance Floor, the title track, She's Out of My Life. Quincy Jones, it really, I think this is the first album he worked as a solo artist with Quincy Jones. But, great record, and, among his classics, I just listened to History. I would put this above History, but, of course, interesting the way the picture was designed on the album art and everything. But yeah, so happy 45th anniversary a week from this Saturday on the 10th of August, which originally Off the Wall, originally released August 10th, 1979. So let's see here, August 15th, which is a Thursday, was just 5 days later than that. See, the August of 79, you had Talking Heads, you had Michael Jackson, and then you had this album, the final proper studio album from Led Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor. An album that I've always gone to bat for and always liked, even though a lot of people don't like as much. It's more synth-driven and piano-driven at points. And John Paul Jones was driving a lot of the songwriting. But I love Southbound Stories, Carousel Alhambra, In the Evening's nice, and it's been playing on the radio a bit, All My Love, and Fool in the Rain. I got a little sick of, but I'm not too sick. I'm not sick of it's like Black Dog, and as much as like Black Dog or rock and roll, but I'm gonna crawl even. Yeah, this is a great record. It's different Zeppelin, but it's still Zeppelin, and it still works for me. So the 15th, Thursday the 15th of August, happy 45th anniversary to the final Led Zeppelin album, In Through the Outdoor. So then on the 16th, we got a couple of anniversaries that came out. So one was in '89. Fate's Warning, the first record, and I probably shouldn't again be putting on this person's name because I got this letter. Maybe I'll. Of course, I got someone playing their music outside. It's very cringeworthy, but what can I do? The first record with Mark Zonder with Fate's Warning, the second record with Ray Alder, Perfect Symmetry, was originally released Friday. We're celebrating its 35th anniversary. Came out on August 16th, 1989. Happy 35th anniversary to Fate's Warning's Perfect Symmetry. Features the song Nothing Left to Say. That's the most progressive on it. There's a lot of progressive stuff on this. The drum work especially. But Fate's Hands, Static Axe, Part of the Machine, Through Different Eyes is a great single. One of the best Fate's Warning singles, if you could say that. But I just think it's a great track. Great performance by Ray. I think Ray was kind of toning himself down. I think this might be the first album they worked with Terry Brown. I know they worked with Terry Brown on the next record, and they worked with on Parallels, and they worked with him on A Pleasant Shade of Grey and Disconnected, but he might have worked with him on this one as well. I can't remember. The book would have probably mentioned. I forget. It was a year and a half ago I was reading that book. But anyway, happy 35th anniversary to Perfect Symmetry from Fate's Warning. This coming would be the 16th, Friday the 16th. So it's 2 weeks from this Friday. That same day, the 30th anniversary of Savatage's Handful Rain, the sort of therapeutic record after the death of Chris Oliva, but my favorite record. It's got Chance, of course, which is an epic. But I love so many songs on this. I've talked about it a bit in the '94 video and everything. But yeah, it originally was released on the 16th of August in 1994, a few months after I graduated high school. But happy 30th anniversary to Handful of Rain. This coming 2 weeks from Friday, the same day as 35th for Fate's Warning's Perfect Symmetry. Two bands I saw together, ironically, on tour back in 2001. So then on the 2 days later, it'd be 2 weeks from Sunday, the 18th. 2 weeks from Sunday? Yeah, I guess it would be. We got a bunch of anniversaries, so just a slew of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. A couple of them came out on the same day, but so I'll just kind of go through. I'm not going through them. Well, I guess it is chronologically in a way. So, all right. So this album came out. This is As Tall as Lion's final album. Their most progressive. Of course, Rob Parr, who was with them, but I don't know if he's on this. And even Kimbra was a guest on a bonus track on this record. But You Can't Take It With You, I believe it's called. Yes. They toured with the Deer Hunter, of course, and Rob Parr now a member of the Deer Hunter. But this album was originally released on August 18th, 2009. But yeah, I like their previous record, the self-titled, and I like the EP they put out. They had one other record. They had like 3 records As Tall as Lions. But this is very tribal at points, very gang vocals, and the lead singer's really good. And I need to revisit this. I can't wait till when I get around 2009, the albums of the year series. I'm gonna have to listen to this again because I've always liked a song like Circles and love the artwork too. But anyway, happy 15th anniversary to You Can't Take It With You from As Tall as Lions on the Sunday the 18th. So that same day, that same exact date, it's the 15th anniversary on the Sunday the 18th. Back in 2009, Mutemath released their second album, their sophomore album, Armistice, which was a difficult album, I know, for the band to release. They had to deal with the labels and all this stuff, and they were definitely not... They had a lot of extra songs and arrangements that were changed, but it turned out to be a pretty damn good album, even though they may have overthought it a bit. But the title track, Pins and Needles, Goodbye is super catchy. I know, the second song on here, Armistice, but it came out August 18th, 2009. Not The Nerve. The Nerve is good. Clipping. Spotlight's the one that was used in the Twilight movie, the first Twilight movie, I believe, but it got them a little bit more exposure than they had before. But yeah, when I revisited this, when I did my mutemath video, and I need to go through it again, I really love this album. And the year it came out, it placed somewhere in the 20s. It might go a little up at 2009 list when I do that a few months, but I remember thinking, God, this is a lot better than I even remember it. The jazzy element is great. There's actually a more jazzy arrangement of the title track. Well, the title track is great. The jazzy arrangement, the sort of New Orleans jazz. They're from New Orleans, Mutemath, but was even better. But anyway, I want this on vinyl. It's a pretty penny, but someday hopefully I'll get it. I'll have a chance to get it. But happy 15th anniversary to Mutemath, Armistice on Sunday the 18th of August, originally released in 2009. So that same day again, so these 3 records all came out that one day. The debut album from, at the time, a part-time project and became a full-time, and now it might be part-time again. I don't know. Brett Knopf of Menomina's debut album, Intuit, from Ramona Falls. Brett Knopf of Project Ramona Falls, the debut album Intuit, which I've always felt like this record, well, it doesn't have any like super standout tracks. Every track I do like. It's piano, art rock, and Brett, he plays some guitar, some slide guitar, and he does a lot of piano-driven stuff, too. Electric, I Say Fever, Always Right. That one, I always think about my wife says, she's always right, she's always right. Russia's great, it's got great dynamics. Salt Sack, Brent's a great songwriter, and his songwriting chops, a lot of the stuff were songs that he couldn't do with Menomina. Menomina didn't like him. They just wouldn't work with the band. I don't remember exactly, so that's why he ended up deciding to do this, and then ultimately ended up leaving. But it wasn't at this time he left. But yeah, this is a great record. The record after it's really good too. But Anyway, Intuit from Phenomena. Happy 15th anniversary on Sunday the 18th. Was originally released on the 18th of August in 2009. So those 3 records, As Tall as Lions, You Can't Take It With You, mutemath, Armistice, and Intuit, all came out the same date, back on the 18th of August in 2009. So those are 15th anniversaries. Then we're going to get happy 20th anniversaries of 2 other records. Back in 2014, the last album, hope it's not the final album, from Imogenheap, Sparks. Great electronic experimental record. Different than her 2 previous records in some ways, because she was doing like voiceovers, and it wasn't rapping, but like talking, sampling. But this album has a lot of, great sort of catchy, quirky tracks. I feel like, I love all her records. I mean, for the most part, I like all her records. I love her masterpiece, the speaking of now, Pat Metheny, Speak for Yourself. The follow-up I thought was disappointing, although it still has some good music, but this was a return to form in a way from a quality standpoint to me. The Listening Chair, Cycle Song, Lifeline was a single. A lot of these songs were released as singles first, and she's done that since, but she hasn't released a full-length album, and even the singles, though, haven't really come. She put out one, like a remix earlier this year, and then, of course, she did like a remix of Frou Frou, but she's kind of been frustrated by the music industry, unfortunately, but she did post something today on Instagram, but Propeller Seeds, Me the Machine. This whole record is seductive, and it's, the use of technology. It's also very soothing. I would almost be having a bad day and I put this on. I think it's underrated. I think Sparks is a really good record. Again, Speak for Yourself is her masterpiece, but this is a pretty close second. So, anyway, happy 10-year anniversary. Oops. I hope I didn't screw that up. That's how the record's probably fine, but the case, I may have just, I don't know. Happy 10-year anniversary to, you can see, I don't think I did much, but happy 10-year anniversary to Sparks from Imogenheap. So the same day, the second record, or sophomore record from Kimbra, who you could say was influenced by Imogenheap in a lot of ways, kind of took a baton in some ways, because Imogenheap hasn't released that much music, and Kimbra's career was starting to take off. And she had released this was her second album, so Vows came out in 2012 in America, 2011 officially. But happy 10-year anniversary to The Golden Echo, the second album from Kimbra, which came out on the 18th of August in 2014. I remember going to Cheapo and buying both of these, actually. That was kind of a unique deal. I don't know if it was on the 18th, though, but I remember they both came out that day. I kind of have a memory of buying, although I think I may have pre-ordered this. Yeah, I think I may have bought Imogenheap Sparks in the store that day or that week. But anyway, this is a great record. Yeah, I have like the lithograph with it. I forgot. But songs like Carolina and Miracle. We played Miracle at my wedding. There's several songs on this, and even though I think Vows maybe is slightly better beginning to end, I think this has more of her better tracks, and it's kind of a push, but it's more experimental in a good way. Unfortunately, she's been doing more experiments and trying to experiment and bring different things in, like rap and hip-hop and a lot of that kind of stuff that has kind of hurt her songwriting. I felt like the experiments really worked on this. Teen Heat, 90s music was weird, but actually grew on me. Madhouse, As You Are, Love in High Places, Waltz Me to the Grave. This is a great record. It was in my top 50. I mean, this is probably the peak of my Kimbra fandom anyway. But, I don't know. But anyway, happy 10-year anniversary to The Golden Echo from Kimbra, which came out originally on the same day as Sparks, on the 18th of August in 2014, and we'll be celebrating its 10-year anniversary that Sunday, the 18th. So we got those 5 records that Sunday. It's a huge anniversary. I should do a collage that day or something on Instagram. So then on the 19th, the day after, and so you could say almost lump this in with those 2 records, a little bit like those albums from 79 or on the 16th, the ones that were on the same day, the 2009 ones. So it's really just like 2 or 3 pocketed dates here for anniversaries this month. Muse album, it's a long title. People just call it No More Stories. You could say their 5th proper album. The first album without Muse No More Stories. It's a long title. No More Stories, we are told today. I'm sorry they washed away. No More Stories, The World is Gray, I'm Tired, Let Me Wash Away, I think it is. Anyway, it's a long title. It's got a lot of great tracks on it, but it's the first album without Johan Wollard, I believe. Yeah, because Bo Madsen stayed. I was getting mixed up. Johan Wollard eventually returned. I think it was 4 Plus Minus, the next record. He's definitely on the last record of Visuals, but yeah, this came out on August 19th, so it's the day after. Literally, so like Golden Echo, and, or wait, not Golden Echo, but this was in 2009 though. So this was like a couple weeks, or no, yeah, it would have been the day after Armistice, Intuit, and You Can't Take It With You. So it was like basically 4 just great records within a day. Back in 2009. This came out in August. I remember that there was an EP that came out earlier in the summer. I remember when this album came out. This was really the first album that came out after I became a fan. I became a fan around the time of the Glass-Handed Kites, but that really wasn't until 2006. This album was a big deal when it came out, so happy 15th anniversary to No More Stories from Mew, which originally came out on August 19th, 2009. It's going to be celebrating the Monday, the 19th of August, the 15th anniversary. So, let's see here. So then we got a really big record for a lot of people. Album I like a lot. I'm still a big fan of it. It is a classic. Friday, the 23rd of August, celebrates the 30th anniversary of Jeff Buckley's Grace. For some reason, I thought it came out later in the year, but I guess not. I thought it came out... I don't know if that date's right. I thought it came out in like the fall, but probably because the documentary you see him in the fall recording, and that must have been like the fall of '93. But no, this originally was released, according to this, what I have down, August 23rd. Why is my screensaver going on like that's weird? August 23rd, 1994. So it's like again, just like Handful of Rain. It literally came out just a couple weeks after Handful of Rain, but. Of course, it's been talked about, and analyzed. It's got Hallelujah, everyone knows. It's been played on millions of TV shows and movies, and covered by other people. My favorites are like Dream Brother and Last Goodbye. The title track is great. Mojo Pin. Lilac One is nice. Lover, You Should Come Over. I mean, some of the the covers. There's Corpus Christi Carol. Some of the covers are good besides Hallelujah on this, but for my money, I actually appreciate the deluxe. Legacy edition more because it has that raga mix of Dream Brother and it's got the Kangaroo and some other extra tracks that really he did some really great things with. So, but anyway, yeah, happy 30th anniversary coming up on the 23rd of August to Jeff Buckley's Grace. So then on Tuesday the 27th, so it'd be whatever is this, 4 weeks from this Tuesday, I think. 3 weeks from Tuesday? 3 weeks from Tuesday. The 10th anniversary of Team Me's Blind as Night, which came out just a few weeks after Kimbra and Imogen Heap, came out in 2014. The second album from Norway's Team Me, but Tuesday the 27th will be the 10th anniversary. Great record. F is for Fakers. The vocal harmonies are great. I'm big on that. This doesn't have the track list on the back here, but F is for Faker. Pull it out quickly. I want to wrap this up because I'm getting a bunch of storms outside. Not only are we getting some neighbor playing their music, we got storms. Kick and Curse is another great interject track. Riding My Bicycle. I think this is the right... yeah, it's like weird. Yeah, the title track, All Time High, it's a great follow-up. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Anathallo with some of the chamber instruments and... some of the percussion, like they use like xylophone and stuff, the dynamics, or like Cloud Cult a little bit too. But and they have a Mew element. So when I was at the time, I didn't realize. Well, yeah, in 2014, we really hadn't had much Mew for a while. This is sort of compensating for the lack of Mew. We got the Team Me, the second album from Team Me. So happy 10th anniversary on Tuesday, the 27th of August, to Blind as Night. So I got 2 more left. One of them I don't have a copy of. The other one I'm going to have to be kind of careful with, but I don't know the exact release date. It's probably in there somewhere, but it's the 55th anniversary in August this year of the lone album from Blind Faith. I believe it's just a self-titled. So this is the deluxe edition I have, which has, for your money, you really need. the girl that does the vinyl records with Alex, she talked about Blind Faith, or yeah, I think she did, pretty sure. But I think it was her or someone else, or no, there was someone else I came across recently that talked about that girl who did the Pink. There's this woman, I can't remember her name, but she's got like many, like tens of, like 30,000 subscribers. She does a lot on Pink Floyd. She loves classic rock, and she did a thing on Blind Faith. But anyway, to me, the standard album is decent. It's good. It's blues rock. It's Clapton. It's a supergroup. It's one of Clapton's 3 or 4 supergroups. He was in Cream, of course. He was in Derek and the Dominoes. But this is with Ginger Baker from Cream, of course, and then Rick Gresh and the Traffic, Steve Winwood, of course. But your real money is for the second disc. What's the song? Find Your Way Home is on the here's the standard booklet. On the first disc, that was, I think, the hit. Find Your Way Home. If I can find the track list. I don't know the track list off. Of course, fortunately, they did some live stuff. I have a bootleg over there on CD. They played live before they recorded. What is it? Can't Find Your Way, My Way Home. But it's got Had to Cry Today. Well, All Right. Present, some religious stuff. Sea of Joy. But really, the real value, the real money, the real reason to go back to this is to listen to these jams on the second disc, if you have the deluxe. I don't know if there's a vinyl pressing with them. I think there might be, but probably pretty expensive. But these jams are progressive blues. Those jams, I don't know. I can't remember if it's the one that I like the most. I think it's Slow Jam, or maybe a Very Long Good Jam, the first one. But 14 minutes, 15 minutes, 12 minutes. 860. There's one interval pattern. Basically, later Yes used with Heart of the Sunrise, and then Rush used with, I want to say Natural Sun. No, with something off of Caress of Steel. I want to say the Necromancer. Basically, it's the same interval pattern. But Blind Faith did it first. They did it in one of those jams, and it's awesome. But yeah, Blind Faith. I've always had a soft spot. I mean, I guess the standard album, I would probably take something from Cream or even. And I had, my reservations about Clapton aside. Derek and the Dominoes from a track list, and that has, of course, Derek and the Dominoes has the services of Dwayne Allman. But the best thing I feel like Clapton ever did was those 2 jams on here. Blind Faith jam. So anyway, happy 55th anniversary in August of 2024 to the Blind Faith album, which was released originally in August of 1969. Again, I don't know the date at this point, but I could look it up and eventually find it. So the last one is America's Holiday, which has, I think it has Tin Man on it, among others. I'm still just kind of getting versed in the America catalog. When I redo the Albums of the Year series in a couple years, maybe sooner, I'll probably have to do a run through. They're like one of 10 bands I need to invest, but it's like, who has the time? I'm listening to too much new music. I'm listening to too much of the Albums of the Year series now, so. Eventually, I will get to the America catalog, just like more Steely Dan, more Supertramp, more Guess Who. But yeah, that album Holiday, which was released in August of 1974, so it's the 50th anniversary. So happy 50th anniversary to, I think it's the second album from America, but I think they released 2 or 3 records that year in '74. Which the album Holiday has the song Tin Man among some other songs. So anyway, that's it for the August anniversaries. We'll go and look at September quickly, and September's about as deep, if not deeper, so it should be a fun month. But happy anniversary to all these records. What albums are you looking for to the anniversaries? Again, I'm going to have to maybe post a couple collages, a couple of these albums that came out literally on the same date in that year, but it's cool to see these milestone anniversaries come up. So thank you for watching again, and we'll see you next time.